Welcome everyone. Today we are going to discuss about tRNA splicing mechanism. Okay. Now we know that splicing means removal of introns and the exon which is left will be ligated to form a mature RNA. Today we are going to discuss about tRNA splicing mechanism. So here are the steps involved. We will do it step by step. Okay, let's begin. So see, these are the steps. See this? So what are the steps involved? At first, this tRNA splicing mechanism, it involves cleavage and ligation reactions. Okay, this involves cleavage and ligation reaction. Now there is an endonuclease which will make a cut in the tRNA and it will release the intron. Okay, endonuclease will make a cut in the tRNA, it will release the intron. As a result of the removal of the intron, what is generated? Two half tRNAs with unusual ends. What are these unusual ends? 5' OH and 2' to 3' cyclic phosphate. Okay, these are generated. So first is the removal of intron by endonuclease, and the second is after the intron is being removed, the two ends are generated, which is 5' OH group and 2' to 3' cyclic phosphate group. After this, what we see, what we see in the third step is the 5' OH group which is generated here. This 5' OH group is phosphorylated to create 5' phosphate group. Okay, and the second, which is 2' to 3' cyclic phosphate group, this is opened up. The cyclic group is opened up by an enzyme known as phosphodiesterase, as a result of which 2' phosphate group is formed and 3' OH group is formed. Okay, so 5' phosphate which is formed and 3' OH which is formed, they are joined by RNA ligase. And the 2' phosphate which is formed, it is removed by phosphatase. Okay, so if I summarize, so what we studied in the first step, it is the endonuclease which will make a cut, and this endonuclease will release what? It will release the intron plus 2 half tRNA with unusual ends, with unusual end. Okay, what are these unusual end? These unusual end is 5' OH group. It usually should be 3' OH, but it is 5' which is generated, and 2' to 3' cyclic, wait, 2' to 3' cyclic phosphate bond, cyclic phosphate bond. Okay, in the second step, what we see that this 5' OH bond is then converted to 5' phosphate group by the enzyme polynucleotidal kinase, and this cyclic group is opened up. This cyclic group is opened up, and what is formed? 2' phosphate group is formed and 3' OH group is formed. Okay, and the last step, the 5' phosphate and 3' OH is ligated. 5' phosphate and 3' OH bond is formed by ligase. Okay, and in the fourth step, what we see that the 2' phosphate group, phosphate, is removed from 2 prime phosphate is removed from 2 prime region by phosphodiesterase. So these are the 4 steps. Okay, now let's get back to the detail again. Now see this. All the introns include a sequence. Every intron have a sequence that is complementary to the anticodon of the tRNA. Okay, that is complementary to the anticodon of a tRNA, and this creates an alternative conformation for the anticodon arm. Okay, so what we see, that the introns have a sequence. The introns have a sequence which is complementary to the anticodon arm of the tRNA. Okay, as a result of which these introns form a base pair to the anticodon arm of the tRNA. Okay, and as a result of which they are forming an unusual arm. So see the example. Here you can see that the introns have a sequence which is complementary to the anticodon arm. This is the anticodon arm, and the introns, the red colored region is the intron, and this is complementary to the anticodon arm of the tRNA, as a result of which they form a base pair and forming an unusual arm, Okay, this will be later removed. Now I would like to give you a little idea about the splicing mechanism in bacteria and eukaryotes. In bacteria and eukaryotes. So see what we see here. In bacteria, introns, let's see here. In bacteria, introns in pre-tRNAs, they are self-spliced, as in group 1 and group 2 autocatalytic introns. We have, if you know that in group 1 and group 2 autocatalytic introns, splicing mechanism is self-splicing mechanism. Okay, this is in bacteria, the tRNA splicing mechanism is same as group 1 and group 2 self-splicing mechanism. But in archaea and eukaryotes, there are several steps which are involved. So what are the steps? The first is an endonuclease that will recognize and it will cleave at the both ends of the intron. So see, the endonuclease will cleave at both ends of the intron, here and here, as I have marked. Okay. Then there will be a ligase which will join the tRNA exons. The purple colored one is the exon, red color is the intron. Both the exon will be joined. A 2' phosphotransferase that removes the 2' phosphate on the spliced tRNA. I told you that there is an extra 2' phosphate group which is removed by 2' phosphotransferase. Okay, so see here, the intron is first spliced by endonuclease. Okay, then there is a ligation reaction which will ligate. At last, the 2' phosphate group which is generated, it was removed by phosphotransferase. So now the whole steps which I told you is summarized here in this picture. We can see here that the product of the cleavage, means after when the endonuclease makes the cut over here, you can see, let me annotate. See, when the endonuclease makes the cut over here, what we get? We get this intron. We get this red colored region which is the intron, as well as what we get is the two half tRNA molecules, which is known as this. This is 2 half tRNA molecules. Okay, this is 2 half tRNA molecules, and this 2 half tRNA molecules have unusual end. What is that? It is 5' OH and 2' to 3' cyclic phosphate. Okay. Now what we see, that this 2 prime to 3 prime cyclic group is then opened up. Okay, it is then opened up, and which is forming what? It is forming 3 prime OH group. Okay, this will then be formed into 3 prime OH group and 2 prime phosphate group. This 2 prime phosphate group is then removed, and this 3 prime OH group and this 5 prime phosphate group, this will be converted to 5 prime phosphate group. This 5 prime phosphate and here this 3 prime OH group will be ligated together. Okay, and 2 prime phosphate group will be removed, as a result of which clover leaf tRNA will be formed. So lastly, what we see, that this picture again, the next picture will describe you in more detail. So see, this is 2 prime to 3 prime cyclic phosphate group. This is 2 prime to 3 prime cyclic phosphate group, and this cyclic group is opened up, and what it forms is 3 prime OH group, which is this one, 3 prime OH group and 2 prime phosphate group. Okay, 2 prime phosphate will be removed and 3 prime OH will be left. Now in kinase side, in the 5 prime side, what we see, that in the 5 prime side the OH group will be converted to the phosphate group. Okay, phosphate is added to the 5 prime end, and the 5 prime OH which is formed here and 3 prime OH, sorry, the 5 prime phosphate which is formed here, 5 prime phosphate which is formed here and the 3 prime OH which is formed here, they both will be ligated. Okay, they both will be ligated to form the mature tRNA. Okay, so just a 1-minute summary of what we studied. We studied, number 1 is that endonuclease is the one which will cleave, which will make a cleavage, and what it will form? It will form an intron plus 2 half tRNA. 2 half tRNA means the tRNA having 2 unusual ends. Okay, this 2 half tRNA have unusual ends. What are these unusual ends? This unusual end is 5 prime OH group and 2 prime to 3 prime cyclic phosphate group. Okay, in the next step is that the 5 prime OH group will be converted to 5 prime phosphate group, and the 2 prime to 3 prime cyclic phosphate will be opened up. Cyclic phosphate will be opened up to form 2 prime phosphate group and 3 prime OH group. Okay, this 2 prime phosphate, then phosphate is removed from 2 prime, phosphate is removed, and in this 3 prime OH, this will ligate with 5 prime phosphate, will ligate with 5 prime phosphate. Okay, so last step, third 3, is ligation, in which the 5 prime to 3 prime bond will be formed, as a result of which mature tRNA forms. This is the whole splicing mechanism of tRNA. I hope this has helped you. Thank you.